Hello, very good evening to you. How exciting is this? I've been looking forward to this moment. Of course, it's the launch of a brand new one-day special. We've got the fabulous Tracy Evans here with us. How are you?
I'm nervous and excited at the same time.
Well, I'm not surprised. You needn't be nervous, though. I think this is going to be incredible. In fact, we're already busy. We have got Tracy's own designs for you here. We've got some fabulous demonstrations lined up for you as well. We have got some great prices as well. I've got to say some fabulous savings. We've got options for you as well. We're going to start right here with the one-day special, which I've got to say, Tracy, I'm going to let you talk us through this because they are your designs, aren't they? Tell us about these.
For me, this release, I think, really represents me. Every release always has a part of me inside there, but this release for me really represents me. It's got nature, it's got the background elements, and it's got lots of layered elements and ephemera. So I feel that this release really represents me. I've let loose. With every release, I think you improve. Yeah. And I think with this release, I've just gone, do you know what I mean? It's sort of, I've moved a little step further to how I really want my stamps to look.
Yes, we're all evolving all the time, but I've got to say, Tracy, everything I've seen that you do has been absolutely amazing. This is no exception, it really isn't, and I can tell you we're already busy. £49.97, brand new today, of course, for the one-day special. We can offer that flexi-buy option for you, but I'm not going to give you all the details just yet because I would just say, and it is unusual, I know, but we're doing this a little bit more often now, hang on a little while because we've got a better option coming up. 418549 is the item number. You can, of course, go for the one-day special if you want that, but I would just hang on a little bit longer and see what else we've got to offer you. Now, moving down, we've got another bundle for you. Now, Tracy, tell us about this one.
When you first start designing, Catherine, I think it's important for the viewers to realise that more often than not, I'm not very good with software, so Olga helps me a lot on the software side, you know, when you're cleaning images up. So thanks to Olga for all the hard work. But to bring these to life takes a lot of effort. So I often hand draw on bits of paper or on my little iPad. I hand draw and I do each layer one bit at a time, and then they have to be merged. So these, I loved these because a lot of people have said they can't do these sketchy borders. So I created these borders but added sentiments, and these are a good all-rounder. You can add these to your card, the sentiments are fantastic. But those pen nibs, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have favourites, but those pen nibs and those mushrooms I just adore. I cannot stop using them.
Do you know what? If somebody said to me, you're going to get a stamp set with pen nibs and mushrooms on it, and I thought, what on earth are you talking about? But doesn't this work so well? It really, really does. These are fabulous as well. £24.98 is the price for this bundle. You're getting 10 stamps in total. I'm not going to spend too long on it, though, because we've got more to show you. 579235 if you are going for this bundle. But I'd hang on a little bit longer if I were you. We're going to move down again. We've got another bundle for you as well. In fact, what we're looking at here, Tracy.
This is my quirky side.
Oh, I
like to have a bit of fun, but I'm not into cute, but I like them a bit quirky cute, if that makes sense. But also to have some fine details as well. On those stamps, those little details, when you look at some samples shortly, you'll see that some of the little details on those stamps are absolutely fantastic. They work really well on some designs, and I just love how these have turned out. I can't stop using them. I've really enjoyed this release. I've really got in touch with me.
Do you know, you should be very, very proud of yourself, Tracy. I can just see so many options with everything here. Details for this bundle, £20.97. You're getting 8 individual stamps there amongst those sets that you can see on the screen. 243337, that's the item number. But this is where it gets really, really good. And you've already found it. You can get everything that we've just shown you, everything, so all 3 bundles together for an incredible price of £89.92. You are making a saving, but Freedom members, wait for this one. Look at the price you can achieve here, £80.93. You're saving £14.99. It's a why not deal. In fact, if we break this down per individual stamp, it makes it £2.60 per stamp. Think about that. We've got some large stamps in here as well. We've got small stamps, medium stamps, large stamps. Do you know, it's incredible value. Backgrounds, we're going to see so much from Tracy demonstrations. But also as well, another little thing we want to point out, we've just mentioned the price there individually per stamp, but what we haven't told you yet is anybody going for the full complete collection is going to get this stamp as well. Now this is totally exclusive. You cannot get this anywhere else. This is available with the initial stock. If we do get any sellouts, I don't know if we do, if we've got a limited amount, so the initial initial stock that we put into the show, which is huge, I've got to say. Everyone will get one of these if you're going for the full, complete collection. It's not a buy on everything. It's not individual bundles. It's the full, complete collection while stocks last. We have got good stocks, but we're expecting very busy show, so remember that there. 202936 is the item number for the whole collection. Now we can split this down over 3 payments. Look at this, £26.98 per payment. That's all you need to pay right now. The first instalment you pay straight away. If postage applies, yes, you've got to pay the postage, but think about it, if you're not a Freedom member, that's saving of £14.99. £6.97 for your Freedom for the month. Take into account, even if you put postage on top of that, you're still saving more money. Now, 10% of the stock has already gone on the complete collection. We will show you some samples now because, Tracy, the work that's gone into these, you've done some, your team's done some, they are amazing.
For me, seriously, Catherine, the best bit is when the design team get hold of the stamps. Yeah. Because they look great, all new like that, but when the design team get their hands on them, that's when they come to life.
They certainly do.
And we've got just a couple of quick...
I just love these.
So, look what Corrie's done here. She's literally... I can't hold it straight, obviously. Corrie has coloured those in, absolutely stunning, and she brings them to life. The characters, they already look like they've got characters. You've got a male one, a female one. But for me, it's the little details. The little details are important on this stamp.
Definitely.
You can do so much just with that little stamp there. I just think that's fantastic.
I love this. There's the owl in there as well. Just amazing.
Just
it really
a quick
is.
one, just to show the little detail, what Jo's done here. Jo has used the little tiny stamp here, and she's created a wreath. Now that's thinking outside the box. A tiny stamp, and look what you can do with it. There's so many things that you can do with that. And we're nicely mentioning the design team across the bottom there, because without them, there wouldn't be a show.
Do you know, there's so many wonderful samples here. I mean, we're talking, it's not just about cards, is it? We're talking your journals, we're talking about home decor, we're talking about all sorts of mixed media as well. Just fabulous, using those different mediums. That's just the owls that we've shown there. We have got inspiration by means of a video as well. We've got lots of samples. We'll try and get through as many as we can throughout. But let's have a look at this video with some of the design team's inspiration. Of course, Tracy's work as well. Aren't they just fabulous? They really, really are. Now, the full collection, very, very busy. Almost 20% of the full collection has already gone in just 8 minutes. And we had, I should say, huge, huge quantities. Now, do remember, you will, if you're going for the full collection while stocks last, you will get this exclusive stamp as well. It is not available anywhere else. This has been made specifically for this one-day special. But of course, we all want to see Tracy demonstrating, don't we? So I'm going to hand it over to Tracy. What are we going to do?
So, okay, just a little explanation first, Catherine, because I'm actually paring everything back now.
Okay.
A lot of my followers will know that I'm all about backgrounds, and I spend a lot of time on backgrounds. But when I was demonstrating this weekend, there was a lot of newcomers that visited the stand, and they said to me, could I pare it back and show them the basics? So I said, right, my first demo will be to show how the stamps sing. How the stamps don't have to have a background.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is we're going to use our big butterfly stamp. I'll show it.
Look at this.
You probably can't see it in the. If I put it that way, can you see it better there on the glass mat?
There we go.
Look at that detail on there. So we're going to show how this stamp on its own can sing. So what I'm going to use my Distress Oxides on my gel press.
Okay.
Now I'm not doing anything complicated. It's quite a simple background, and in fact, it's not a background because it's not about the background. What I'm going to do is I'm going to apply my Distress Oxide inks direct to my gel press.
Okay.
Now, as you can see, I've got lots of lines on there. That doesn't matter. Don't panic, because the beautiful detail of the stamp is not going to pick up those fine lines. Doesn't matter. So don't worry.
Anybody can achieve that. You
Anybody
don't need
can
to be
do
frightened
that.
of that at
Doesn't
all.
need to be difficult. This first demo is about the stamp.
Yeah.
It's about what the stamp can do for you.
Of course.
You're spending your hard-earned cash. What can that stamp do? So I'm then adding some of the purple. Don't cover all the grey up. And the reason I'm adding it like this is I'll get a more random effect.
Yeah.
I don't know quite what I'm going to get.
Okay.
So I'm taking my stamp direct to the gel press. And what we're going to do, professional term, we're going to squish that, squish that into your gel press.
Yeah.
Okay? And we're going to lift it up and just move it along the gel press.
Okay.
Just
so
so
no
that-
set distance, it's entirely up to the individual?
We're talking right back to basics. We're talking, you haven't got to think about this, you've just bought a stamp, you don't know what it's capable of, so let's just get working with it.
Let's just play.
Exactly, it's just about playing. And that's what this first demo is about, not being frightened to use your stamps. So we're just going to place that on one side for now.
Okay.
And then we're going to take our watercolour card. This is Pink Frog watercolour card.
Oh, this is fabulous, isn't
It's
it?
a brilliant card. Andy kindly cut me some. He's a gem.
Oh.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tilt this on the side, and I'm going to place my acrylic block, because this one, it doesn't matter because I'd cut this out anyway, so it's not a problem.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do, even when I'm using the Versa fine inks or I'm using the oxide inks, never be in a rush to lift that stamp up. It doesn't matter whether it's this size or whether it's a tiny size.
Okay.
Don't be in too much of a rush to lift that stamp up. You've got some beautiful detail on here. You've got background elements, you've got ephemera, text, and you've got a pen nib. So there's lots of elements you can use there on their own as well. It isn't just about the butterfly. I'm all about those details. So we've got these acrylic blocks from AALL Create that are absolutely fantastic. You just lift the block up and that gets this middle area here.
Ah, yes, of
Lift
course.
this side up.
Yeah.
And even if you've got dexterity problems, it's really easy to lift that up.
Okay.
So I've now given that a firm press. I haven't broke my wrists to press. And look at the detail on that
Wow,
stamp.
look at that. Oh, I love the colour combination as
Can
well.
you see that? That's
Look
it.
at the detail on
Absolutely
this.
wonderful detail.
Wow.
And I often have a lot of ladies who are just starting out saying, I don't know how to start. This is how you should start. Always stamp your image out. Doesn't have to be in black all the time. It can be in a colourful ink.
Yeah,
Now-
that works really, really well. I'm just going to let everybody know the colours you've used there, because
Yeah.
I know a lot of people email in and ask. Hickory smoke and
Wilted
wilted
violet.
violet there as well.
And I'll just chuck the ink pad on the floor.
We'll sort that, don't
Such a
worry.
professional. You can always rely on me on a live to knock something off. So the advantage of this is, if you're not, like I'm not a colourer like Corrie, who does it really professionally, so you have to think of ways around that that can work for you. Thank you very much. That you can that can work for you. So if you're not into colouring and you're just starting out, because you've used these oxide inks and you've got this wonderful detail on the stamp, these inks are reactive with water. So now we can blend and we can instantly get a shadow. So we can instantly get a shadow on our pen nib.
Yeah,
So we
very,
I'll
very
just get a
easily.
piece of kitchen
No,
roll
you're
just to-
using a water brush there.
I am. I'm using a water brush. Any brush just dipped into
Dipped
water.
into water,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter, just whichever is your preference.
Yeah. Sometimes
Okay.
you have to remember is when we're demoing, we have to go for an easy option because obviously you demo and you don't want lots
Yeah.
of things everywhere. So yes. So I'm just adding a touch of shading, and again, this is a very basic technique, but that instantly gives you a shade
It
to your
does, doesn't
butterfly.
it?
And what you can do, I won't spend ages doing this because we want to get as much in as possible, but you would spend time just picking up these little details of the stamp. The shading's already there for you, so it works perfectly.
So you can just follow that.
Yeah, so we can just follow that. And of course, in Blue Peter fashion, we've got one that we've done earlier.
Wonderful. Just before you show us that, Tracy, you know you were very nervous.
Yeah.
Do you know, almost a quarter of the stock has already
that's
gone of the
brilliant.
complete collection.
Oh,
we
thank you
are
very
less
much.
than 15 minutes in as well. Yes, very, very busy out there. Very busy indeed. Details are still on the screen, but I don't want to interrupt Trace any longer than I have to. So look at this.
So what I've done here is I've done the same technique, but I used more purple on this rather than the grey. I actually prefer that one, but this is what playing is all
Yeah.
about. And also the other reason for that is the grey on this one, the ink pad was drier
Okay.
I've got a new ink pad, so my grey has shown up more. Just so that the viewers understand why you get one reason for another. There's more, if I bring this into the overhead, you've got more grey on that because my ink pad is juicier. If I put them both down, Tracy, it might help the cameraman. So with that one, there was more purple because my grey was a drier ink pad. This is more moist. So, but again, the detail on that stamp is absolutely fantastic.
It's incredible.
And to be honest, if you liked clean and simple, that stamp has done all the work. You could just add a sentiment.
You could. I think it's absolutely beautiful. I really, really do. You could stamp that out 100 times just with those same 2 colours of ink and get a completely different look every time. You could do little
thank you notes.
Exactly,
But we haven't finished there, Catherine, because if you remember, we've got a load of ink on here.
Oh, of course,
from the gel press. So we're just going to spritz that.
Okay, lovely.
Nice gentle spritz.
A nice fine mist.
Nice fine mist. Try not to soak everybody at the same time. And if you can see, I always place my stamp on the side. For me personally, it works better because I can get really good leverage on the stamp. You know, a lot of ladies who've got dexterity problems say that they're pressing so hard that the wrists hurt. You don't need to do that. You literally, as long as you keep this fingers on the stamp,
so keep that stable,
then you don't get any rocking. Just allow that. Again, and as you can realise, even when you're live on TV, I don't rush that process. Even though I'm nervous, I still keep the stamp there. I don't rush the process of stamping. And just lift it up again, use your acrylic blocks and just lift that up.
Lovely, you've got great flexibility in that block there as well. Look at that again.
And I could probably get a 3rd generation. I mean, look at the colours on that. You could probably get a 3rd generation print on that. And
that is just gorgeous.
You see, I get so excited about the detail. For me, when you put something on an iPad and you draw it or you add ephemera bits, because I use ephemera bits from old books, obviously, you know, if they're not copyrighted, but I use all those bits, and when they come to life, when Abs, you know, brings it all to life, you just can't believe the detail. And that's just from oxide inks, that's not even a VersaFine. So that is wonderful.
So we're talking here crafting, really, on quite a good budget, because if you're going for the full collection, which most of you are, by the way, just £2.60 per stamp, and that doesn't include the freebie that you're getting if you're going for the full collection either. That's on top, that's exclusive. On its own, this is worth £6.99 as well. You can't get it anywhere else. While stocks last, you will get that in with your complete collection. Start, if you haven't got your inks, just start with a couple of colours. If you want to follow Tracy's, you know, demonstration here, go for the same colours. If you've got your favourite colours, go for those. It doesn't matter, does it, Tracy?
Absolutely
you're going to get
not.
fantastic results
I just think
because of the stamp.
I just think sometimes as demonstrators, and it made me realise that at Events City when I was demoing, that sometimes we forget people start from the beginning. And I was having a conversation with Abs, and we were saying sometimes it's lovely to go all the way back to the beginning and refresh yourself, not just the viewers, refresh yourself.
I agree with that totally.
And I enjoy going back to the beginning. Now we've got this stencil on the show. This is totally dotty. And what I'm doing here is I'm adding the background over the top. So normally you see me add the background underneath. So I don't want to detract from that butterfly, but that's going to be my base layer anyway, so that's not too much of a problem. So now what I'm going to do is I'm using the same colour scheme, and I'm going to use the wilted violet. Now, what a lot of beginners do is they will go like that and then try and blend. There is no point doing that. That will get you nowhere. You will not get a seamless blend. You need to, this is a brand new piece of cut and dry foam, you need to make sure that you prime that foam. Like I always talk about the stamps, you need to prime that foam and get up a good layer of ink.
That is so true as well. I know from doing workshops myself, that is a mistake a lot of people have made. They've gone for clean sponges, clean daubers, gone straight to the ink, straight to the paper, and they, why can't I get the result I want?
Correct. And I've gone for clean cut and dry foam because I want to show those new viewers that I'm doing it from scratch, I'm doing it with new products, you know, and that if you do it properly and you apply it properly, then you will get the same results as everybody else.
Now then, I'm just going to just stop for a second, simply because the stencil that Tracy's using, it comes with other stencils in the bundle as well. You've got the cracked walls in there. We're already at limited stock. I think a lot of you have been waiting for these to come back, actually. The one that Tracy's using right now, I've got the smaller version, and I know when I've used it in demonstrations, when I've guested here at Hochanda, I've had emails coming in, where did you get that stencil? Which one is it? It's all in Create. It's back, but this is limited stock already. So if you want to go for these stencils, you've got the A4 there. It's the dots one, isn't it?
Totally dotted. Totally dotted.
Oh, it's gone. It's gone. I can't even finish the sentence.
Can I quickly finish my little bit?
We'll let you finish that.
I'll quickly just finish this bit, and then we won't tease anymore.
We just can't seem to keep this stencil in stock.
Oh, it's abs, you know. It's just designed a wonderful stencil. It's fabulous.
I've got to say, it's probably my favourite stencil.
Yeah.
I've used it so much.
Do you not think there's something about circles, though?
Yeah.
I think at the moment, circles are a big trend.
Yes.
So I think it's all in at the moment. So we won't tease anymore. We'll just move that out the way.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to spritz that with water just to oxidise.
Okay.
And all that means is goes cloudy.
Yeah.
It just makes me sound good if I say oxidise while I'm live on TV, you see. It makes me sound professional. So I'm just allowing that ink to sit. And can you see it's bleeding here?
Yeah.
Because you can also use that as well because it reactivates the ink.
Of course.
So we'll just blot that out. And again, here I've done nothing complicated, but I always think it's important to say that when you've got good quality products and you've got the right process, you know, you can get professional results.
Of course.
And it doesn't always have to be about layering everything that you own on one piece of art.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be overcomplicated.
Yeah.
It can still look beautiful when it's simple.
I do love it that you've really stripped things back, Tracy, actually.
I just think it's important that sometimes as designers we don't strip things back. And if we don't, then we're not appealing to a wider audience.
Yeah.
We're always thinking about those that are 10 steps
I
ahead.
think you're so right. I see it posted on social media, people wanting to have a go at mixed media. They love what they're seeing, but they're frightened. They don't know where to start. And it is really, it's easy to say it, but just go for it. Don't overthink things.
No.
I think that's a big thing. People try and plan too much.
But I also
and
think they think that mixed media means that you've got to have lots of things.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It just means a mixture
of different mediums.
That you use. And it can be on a project that this size. It just means you're using a mix of mediums, that's all. So what I'm doing now is I'm using the mushroom from the A4 stamp.
Okay.
And I'm just using, you see the background element here?
Yeah.
I'm just going to add some stamping to the background.
Okay.
And I'm going to use this as is, because we want to use the whole stamp. And it proves that you can still add details. It does help if you get the right area that you've used the ink, Tracy.
There's a bit of something there.
No, there's not. I've not used that bit with the ink. Now you can see. Can you see the detail here?
Yeah.
Now this brings your design. If you notice, I've still got white spaces here. I don't cover every single piece of white space. There's no point doing that. I either do it in 1, 3s or 5s.
Okay.
Now, if I put it in 3, I'm going to cover all this white space. I don't want to do that. One little bit is plenty.
Okay.
So what we could also do is just bring in, I've changed my mind. This is what being artistic's all about. You change your mind. So I'm going to do a touch of black stamping, and I'll tell you why I'm doing the black stamping. Just going to take this. I don't want to use the first generation. I'm going to use the second generation.
Right,
So
okay.
I've inked that up with VersaFine Black.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why I'm doing that now, and I've changed my mind. Because looking at it, for me, it's quite monochromatic.
Yeah.
So I want to bring a bit of oomph into the design.
Yeah.
So I'm adding some touches of black. That will just bring in some oomph.
Lovely.
Because sometimes you can work with monochromatic, but sometimes if you bring a pop of another colour, then it just gives it a bit more power, a bit more oomph to the whole design.
Would you like to know where there is some oomph?
Oomph?
Oomph. There's some oomph out there because people are buying this full collection. Almost 30% of the stock has already gone.
Thank you very much. That's fantastic.
We're still within the first half hour of the launch show, remember, and we had huge, huge stocks. Now, just a reminder again, because it is important, you don't want to miss out. While stocks last, we have the free gift for you as well with £6.99. This is not available anywhere else. This has been designed and made just for us for the one-day special. Now, I can tell you there's less stock of the freebie than there is of the complete bundle because we've had so much stock put in. So it is first come, first served. So I would suggest if you're going for the complete selection, if you know you want it, check those baskets out as soon as you can to make sure that you get this. We'll keep you updated on the stock levels, of course, but just want to remind you, we don't want you to miss out unless it's absolutely necessary.
And just to throw a spanner in the works, because I never mentioned it to the producer, so she's probably going to kill me now, I will be giving away the artwork.
Oh, fantastic.
In the show. Yeah.
So someone, what should we say? Someone that buys from the show?
Yeah. Randomly drawn winner.
Randomly drawn. Okay, so you don't have to go for the full collection to get Tracy's artwork. That's just for the stamp the freebie. So anybody who purchases from the show, we will announce about 5 minutes before the end of the show the lucky winner, and it will be a lucky winner as well.
So the reason that I added the black stamping, Catherine, is that I remembered that when I was at home, I can't pick these up, I added the black stitching. And I added that black stitching for the same reason, because I didn't want it to be too monochromatic.
I see.
I love monochromatic, but I always like a little punch of something else.
Yes.
So that's why. And I'm just going to add this Create with Passion, which is on one of the other stamp sets.
Okay.
So Create with Passion.
So you'll be getting these within the full collection.
Oh yes,
then?
yeah, in the full collection you will get these. Everything that I'm using, you will get.
Lovely.
So I'm just adding a touch of that purple around the edges of my card. And then what we can do is this will also break up the monochromatic feel, because it will add some more touches to the butterfly.
Okay.
So
now, when you say monochromatic, quite
all
often
one
people,
tone. I know people think
black and white. It doesn't have to be, does it?
It just all one tone. So it could be all purples, all blues, all turquoise, all brown. But when I do monochromatic, I always like to add a pop of colour.
Yes.
And if you go onto the All and Create Fanatics page, you'll see lots of inspiration at the moment. There's quite a few people doing monochromatic.
Yeah, so if you haven't had a look on there, you must go over and have a little peek.
And then just going to add this. And often it's the little touches that really do it for me.
It does, it pulls everything together, doesn't it?
Yeah, this is what I spend more of my time doing, is the little touches. I spend a lot of time doing that.
Now, we have had a question come in actually from Vivian, and Vivian's asking if, I presume it's going to be on one of the larger stamps probably, how do you sort of pick out a certain area? If you only want a specific area of that stamp, what's the best way of just inking and going for that one specific area?
There's two ways. So if I pick up this so that the camera can see, when I've got my stamp, you can either use low-tack tape, and let's bring the stamp in. You can use low-tack tape and tape. Put the low-tack tape on your stamp here, so that it covers this area up, or even a sticky pad, and then just use your ink straight onto here, and then lift your low-tack tape, and you've just got that area.
Yes, don't leave your tape on when you stamp, because it's going to interfere.
Then it's a smudgy mess. But more often than not, if I just wanted that pen nib, and I wanted it direct on my project, then I would put low-tack tape here, ink it, peel the low-tack tape off, and then stamp.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
But I like the questions because it sends you off on tangents.
Do send it. We can't guarantee. Oh, I think we're going to get a flood of questions in now, but we will try to get as many as we possibly can. And I'm sure if you post on Facebook or on Tracy's page,
I always answer the questions.
Our page as well, Tracy will get round to answering it as many or every question that she sees.
Yeah, I do answer them. Yeah. In the All and Create Fanatics as well, we'll answer them there as well.
Wonderful.
So what I'm doing now is I'm drawing some black lines around my sentiments. That's because I don't want the sentiment, sorry to put my hand in the way, I don't want the sentiment to get lost in the background. So when you're looking at this close on, you might not see it on camera, but when I'm looking at it close on, I can see that I've got those black lines drawn. Yeah. So it just adds another little detail to our design. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to add some lines across. Now, I'm adding these rather than my border stamp because I've already got enough on there. I don't want to add too much detail on there. So these are just fine lines, just to draw the eye into your project. Just a fine line all the way around. And as you can see, I don't get a ruler or anything because it's about you being arty. Yeah. You're not about getting your rulers out and drawing a line, so that it has to be perfectly straight. That's not what it's about. You're just drawing a line to draw that eye in. So then just two little pieces, and then we can get onto another project and you can do a recap. Okay. So I've got these little clips.
Oh, I love when you bring all these little elements.
I love these little elements.
Oh, I always say to people, just root through the drawers that you've got at home because everybody keeps these little knickknacks and bits and pieces. You will find, if you've not had your other half just throwing everything out for you, you'll find all sorts of bits and pieces. Or keep a tin or something specifically for any little bits of broken zip or little, light bulbs, all sorts of different things.
But the other thing that does is it makes your project unique to you.
It certainly does.
Now, just one more thing to finish that off because I'm all about textures. So we'll use some masking tape. Just going to take the masking tape, place it onto here, and Joe does this as well because I do it. I make my own masking tape and you can colour it and stamp onto it. But I don't want to add colour to this. I want to add, just to make it a design that all works together, I want to add a little bit of stamping. So a little touch to the masking tape. So again, I'm only going to use a little area. So I'm judging now which area I want. I know I want this 125, so I'm just going to go for that area there. So if I'm just doing that, I can just highlight that area by just going on the edge. And then I'm going to add this.
I'm thinking back to the question from Vivian as well, and what you're doing there, Tracy, I absolutely love, because the style of the stamps, if you were to catch little bits of the background as well as the wording, say, that you wanted, it really doesn't matter, it just adds to the overall look.
Correct. And when you're looking at a design, if you're ever struggling, if you want to make something cohesive or to work, always pick out elements from your stamp in the background to make it all work together. Yeah. So there we've got a little bit of the background, and we're just going to blot that because we've used an ink pad with a good open time, which means it just stays wetter longer. Now, I don't want all that, I obviously just want part of it, and I'll only do one area because you don't need me to stamp 3 lots of masking tape because you'll be losing the will. So what I do then is, what I tend to do is, when I'm at home, I take photographs of my projects. Take a photograph of it, look at it several times, and then decide where I want things. So, and it's about not going too over the top. And I've very rarely put things bang in the centre, so I like it on one side. And then hopefully we can lift this without the clips falling off. And then that's our project.
Look at that. Absolutely stunning, isn't it? And really stripped back to basics. So starting from the beginning, that is gorgeous. I'm just going to show you the finished one as well. Oh, we're giving this one away, are we?
Yeah.
This one is going to go to a lucky winner, remember. Now then, let's give you a few more details. Just remember, anything that you're purchasing from the show, you're going to go into the draw for receiving Tracy's artwork. It will be one lucky winner, but of course the freebie is for those buying the full collection. Speaking of that, let's just tell you about our Why Not page. Now, we use this when we have something like we've got the full collection that you can see there on the screen. You can see the details there, the item numbers there, 31 stamps in total. The combined price, if you would work in these individually, would be £95.92. The introductory price, that's the price we're offering for today's show, is £89.92. The Freedom offer, you'd get 10% off, so £80.92. So the Freedom saving, including the postage there, would be £9 plus your £2.95 if you're paying for the postage, £11.95. That makes it a Why Not deal. If you think about it, if you're not a Freedom member already, you can join for just £6.97. You're going to get that discount there. You're not going to be paying the postage. Even if you try it just for 1 month and you don't want it to roll over, you're going to make those savings. Now then, we're just going to give you a recap because, well, I'm going to give you the details of the complete collection first. You can still see the details at the side of the screen. That is the way most people are shopping. But we will show you the individual bundles as well. Bottom of the screen for this one. This is our one-day special. So if you want to go for this selection here, that's the details at the bottom of the screen. You're getting 3 stamp sets. You're getting nature elements, fungus and thankful petals. All Tracy's designs, of course. 418549. That's the item number. You have got a flexi-buy option on this one as well. We can show you some samples as well from this part of the bundle or this selection. So just showing you here, I've got a couple of just stamped out images first of all that have been coloured in. I absolutely adore these. I think they are incredible. There's that butterfly again, very different look there. You can see the bright colours that have been used. They are incredible. But let's have a look at some of the work from the design team and also from Tracy herself. Now I've got a whole bundle of things here. I'm going to show you what I can, but obviously we can't get through everything. So what I will do is put the ones that I'm showing you now to one side, and as we work down the pile we'll show some different ones the next time round. So this one, using the butterfly there with the nib in the middle. I've got to ask Tracy, that must have been shrunk down.
Yes, it's shrink plastic by Joe.
Look at that, isn't that incredible? Absolutely love it. And then the mushrooms as well. Look at these. Absolutely beautiful, aren't they? They really, really are. Oh, and then of course you can include other elements as well. Watch out, if you didn't catch the start of the show, watch out for the little owls as well. So I'm just going to show you those. So many more samples. I'm just going to put those to one side so I know that I'm showing you something different next time. Now, the next bundle that we're going to remind you about, remember, details at the bottom of the screen for the individual bundles. The next one, this is fabulous. Tracy loves this. She was so pleased with it because if you like those scribbled edges, if you like those borders, if you like those background elements, then you've got them here. You've also got the pen nibs there as well with those mushrooms. I just think, I'm still giggling to myself in my head because I'm thinking pen nibs and mushrooms. what are you talking about? But don't they work so well? What you can achieve with these is incredible, it really is. So details there, £24.98. That is the item price for this particular bundle if you're going for it individually. 579235 is the item number, but of course part of the complete collection. So again, I'm going to show you this card just easily coloured in there. Just that's it. Just that stamp there, coloured, doesn't it look amazing? But once you start to work with your backgrounds as well, once you get that black layer behind there, it really makes the colours pop. And just look at this. Isn't that fabulous? Just love it. There you go. Most of you, as I say, are going for the full collection. You are going to get all of those. The third collection, this is where those owls come in. I did say watch out for them. So for this collection, bottom of the screen, if you want to go for the owls individually, you're getting 3 sets of stamps here. So you're still getting 8 individual stamps in this collection for just £20.97. But once again, part of the full collection. Remember, if you're going for the complete, you are getting that free stamp as well. Over a third of the stock has gone already. This is the launch show. I'm just going to show you some samples again using the owls themselves. You can, of course, mix everything together. Oh, I love the colours that have been used here as well. Look at that. That is just beautiful. Oh, I've got to show you this one. This is so clever. This is one of Joe Rice's. I've heard of witches on broomsticks, but you've got the owls on the paintbrush there just flying off. I just think that's genius. I really do. Love the colours in this one as well. And don't forget, you've got those individual elements in here as well. It's not just the owls. Think about using those individual elements as well. These are stunning, aren't they? There we are. So remember, the full, complete collection, everything that we've just shown you, all 3 bundles together, plus that free stamp worth £6.99 is going to be yours for a fabulous price of just £89.92, unless you're a Freedom member, and then look at the saving. £14.99 is the saving, £80.93. But it gets better because we can split this down over flexi-buy options for you, not 2 but 3. So just £26.98 now. Another in a month's time, and then again in a month's time. You're going to be playing away to your heart's content with these and creating some beautiful artwork before you even make the second instalment. 202936 is the item number for the full collection. Now, finished samples coming up, more inspiration. We'll make our way back down to see Tracy as well, but just look at this. You can't help but smile at those owls, can you?
I love them.
They
just
are
love
fabulous.
Them. But so from the previous demo, okay, just to show ladies, obviously I haven't cleaned me gel press.
Oh, of course we did that first away, didn't we?
So I'm hoping that we can use it. I have no idea. But
okay.
So what I've got in here is similar to Brushos, crystal pigment that you just spritz with water.
Lovely.
Okay.
Yep.
And Tracy at Lavinia often does this. She adds Brushos to her thingy. So this is not my technique, but it's something, you know, if we share or we use somebody else's technique, it's nice to give credit.
It certainly is.
So I'm just going to splatter some of these crystals, the pigmented crystals that I've watered down, onto my gel press.
Okay, now I've just noticed the paintbrush you're using, Tracy.
It's a fan brush.
It's a fan brush. Would you recommend that? If you haven't got one, can you use a normal brush?
You can use a normal brush. The good thing with the fan brush is that you do get a nice fanning of the colour, so you get big globules, small ones. So I prefer that. But as I always say to ladies, don't forget, when we're demoing, or when I'm demoing, I'm not always right. This is what works for me. Yeah. That doesn't mean I'm always right. You have to take something from the demos that works for you.
Yes.
You know, just because we're on this side of the fence doesn't mean that what we do is always correct. It means that what we do works for us.
That's it.
We hope
we're here to hopefully give inspiration, aren't we?
Yeah.
But
and hopefully it inspires. So what I'm going to do there is I'm going to spritz it with water, a little water, to reactivate those oxides. And as you can see, it's just a light misting. I have no idea what I'm going to end up with, but I'm just going to place my card on the top.
Now, is this the watercolour card again?
Yes, I have got some mixed card because I've just started using Andy's card from Pink Frog because it actually does the job better. So I've now moved to that card. But again, I always say that, you know, when you find a good quality card, then you should use it. So so we now get this as a background. Okay.
Look at the colours again in there.
And that's just what was left on the gel press. I will just mop up just to see if there's anything else left.
Okay.
Because we're all about not wasting. And
let's got a shimmer to it, that card?
Yes, it has. It's the coated cardstock, and that's what Pink Frog do as well.
Yeah.
But I would also use this background as well.
Oh, you can see the texture in that
Exactly.
one.
So don't waste what's on your gel press. And I don't clean my gel press. I leave it. Because whatever backgrounds I end up with, because we'll be using the gel press, because I will go back to doing my backgrounds like I normally do, but I want to try and appeal to a wider audience.
Yeah.
So I'm now going to give that a dry.
Okay.
Just because I've added that water and I've added that pigmented crystals. So I just want to give that a nice dry. And if I'm quick enough, we might get 3 demos in, but I'll try and be quick.
Okay.
I'm trying to offer as much inspiration as I possibly can with the stamps. And also, sometimes a lot of people are intimidated by the bigger stamps. So I want to show that if I can do it live on air, then you can do it at home in the comfort of your own home.
Of course.
Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use half the butterfly. I'm just deciding which half, that's it.
Okay.
So that half.
And just think about it, the first demonstration was using the butterfly. Tracy's using the butterfly again. If you think about the full collection, 31 individual stamps in that collection. Tracy's not even, you've barely taken a millimetre off that surface, have you? You've got so much to play with.
And I'm not just saying this because this was my release. This release, I haven't been able to put down. The more I seem to create, the more, and that's not just because it's my release, I really have not been able to put it down. So what I'm doing now is I'm really inking that stamp. As you can see, even while you were talking to me, I was still inking the stamp. Don't be in a rush, again, to not ink your stamp properly. It needs to be inked properly.
Is the VersaFine Claire the ink of your choice?
It is definitely the ink of my choice. I'll tell you why it's the ink of my choice. I was always an archival queen. I still love my archival inks, don't get me wrong. But the reason, when I'm producing such detailed stamps, I need that detail to come out in the stamp. Now for me, this ink pad is vital. I always say the 2 things that are vital when you're stamping is a good quality card and a good quality ink pad. As long as you've got good quality stamps, you're on a win-win anyway.
Yes.
But I'm going to say the good quality stamps, but I don't sell inks and I don't sell, you know, but without them, you won't get a good impression.
That is it. Sometimes we can go a little bit more economically down one route, but I'm with you there.
Trust me, it doesn't work.
Your ink, certain tools that we use as well. If you don't go for the best ones for the job, you're not going to get the results. And when you are spending your money and you're getting good quality stamps, you don't want to spoil it with an ink that's not superior. You don't want to have anything substandard or that's not going to do the job properly.
Exactly.
And because you're going onto different surfaces, and if you're using water as well, it really does matter about the type of ink.
Yeah, it does. And that is stamped beautifully.
Look at that.
And again, I haven't used the whole butterfly this time. I've used half the butterfly. And just look at the detail in that. I just love it. I like this edge, you know, where it isn't straight. Yeah. Oh, I am a bit weird. I do know that I'm a bit weird, but, you know, I love stuff like that. It just makes me happy. So what we've got here is, did I bring my stapler? I don't think I brought my stapler.
Okay, now I'm thinking about Vivian again here as well, because I've just noticed Tracy's got the nib stamped out and cut out as well, so that's another way. If you just want to use an area of the stamp, depends what it is, obviously, but if it's more of a solid shape, you can just cut it out and stick it down and do it that way and not have to worry about what's around it.
I mean, stamps float my boat. It's what I'm passionate about. I love stamps, paints and inks, and for me, when I've got a good stamp, I use it over and over again. I've got stamps from years ago and I use them over and over again. So what I've done here is I've cut the nib out, leave that on the overhead. I've cut the nib out on its own, so I've just stamped it individually onto the card. And all I've done is add some shading. Another way to add shading is just to add a touch of colour to the edge of your design. Don't go all over, just add it to the edge. So can you see that gives me, and it means, you know, I don't colour like Corrie, but I can still get a professional finish.
What did Corrie use to colour those
Copics.
images?
Copics, yes. So with the Copics, obviously you've got to go from light, medium to dark, you know, and then go back again and back.
Yeah.
So there's a process, like everything. But, you know, that's what Corrie's forte is. You know, you should think about what your forte is with the products that you've got and what you enjoy doing.
And again, that's where budget comes in as well, because we can't always afford the items that maybe Corrie's using. They're not cheap items, are they? Inks, I think, are affordable for most people. You can paint with them. You can just ink in any various different ways. Use your waters and your different mediums as well.
So what I've got here is I've stamped the butterfly from the bottom of the butterfly stamp. Okay. And I've stamped it onto white card. You don't need to watch me to do that. You're more interested in the techniques and things. So I'm just going to fold that card over and then staple. And again, we'll give this card away and any backgrounds that I make. Just fold that over, gets a nice neat edge and staple that into place.
Lovely.
Now for me, the reason I've done that is it brings a white element into my card.
Yeah.
So it's not all covered up, it brings a lightness to it. So now I'm going to add some stamping to my background. Just a little touch, nothing too overpowering.
Okay.
What am I like for time, Catherine?
We have got about 12 minutes left.
Well, let's just rush this along a little bit and see if we can get another demo in. So I'm now going to add a touch of stamping from the mushroom one, and I haven't even touched the mushrooms yet. I'm just using the background card.
You haven't, have you?
No.
I just think this is amazing to watch, actually. And you know when things are good, you know when you're enjoying something, because I've said this before, especially when I've been with Tracy as well. I'm suddenly thinking, I just want to go and get my inks. I just want to play.
Yeah, but you see, that makes me happy as a demonstrator, because that, for me, that's the most important part for me. So if I can inspire just a little bit, then I'm chuffed to bits. So we're just going to add some white splatters just to bring in that white.
Fabulous. Is that a Posca pen you've got there?
That's a Posca pen, a Posca paint pen.
Lovely.
Just to bring that element in. And there's another simple card done for us.
Look at that.
Which we can give away.
Everybody could achieve that. I do hope you're recording this, so I'm going to catch it on rewind again afterwards as well. Let me just show you the finished card as well, just so you can see the difference. If you put that little bit of a border around there in the black, it works beautifully. Some lucky person is going to win Tracy's artwork. We will announce that by the end of the show, of course. Now let's just go to the website as well while Tracy gets ready for another demonstration. We will get that third one in. Now some of the individuals, because we have had these items individually as well, some of them have sold out. If you go onto the website and you can't get them to stay in your basket, or they won't go into your baskets because they've gone, we can tell you that we are extremely busy on the full collection. That's the way most people are purchasing. The stencils sold out earlier. Oh, we've got another option there for you though, I believe. Oh, that's gone as well, I've just been told. Oh no, there is other stencils. They're all in Create. They're all going to work fabulously. That paintbrush is there as well. That was the one used in the craft along. And with those beautiful owls as well, flying away on their so-called broomstick that was a paintbrush. I thought that was amazing. Now, so much to look at there. Great reviews as well. Just take your time and have a browse, but I wouldn't hang around with the full collection, because this is the launch show and it is absolutely flying. Almost 40% of the stock has gone. Don't forget, everybody purchasing at the moment, while stocks last, will get the free stamp as well, not available anywhere else, and worth $6.99. Oh, I love that.
Now I'll quickly waffle, because when I was demoing at the weekend, I met a lovely lady called Hazel who was demoing on the pink frog stand. And while I was demoing my background, she said to me, Tracy, would you mind, this was before the show opened, would you mind testing it on black card? And this is what sharing is about. And she asked me to test it on black card, and I just think that's lovely.
That is absolutely
so thank you, Hazel.
Gorgeous.
So we're going to do that really quickly, really quick demo, because I want to try and get in as much as I possibly can. I'm using black card from Pink Frog.
Yep.
I've used opaque paints. And the reason I like to use opaque paints is because that means I can layer the colour one on top of the other, and I won't get mud. And it makes it easy for me. And plus, with them being opaque, I can use them on black card. So what we're going to do is I'm using a brayer. I've got the two colours on here, and I'm going to brayer that out. Can you see?
I just love that, just on the mat.
It looks nice, doesn't it?
It looks. You're using my favourite colour combination here.
Love it. So what I'm doing, as you can see, I lift the brayer as I'm doing it. And have you noticed, I keep going over the same area?
Yep.
That's because it puts texture on the card.
Yep.
So I've got a die cut circle here. Now, I haven't prepped this demo, I'm just making this up as I go along. So, but then sometimes I like going off cuff and just making up things. So this is an off the cuff one. So let's just pick up a piece of card, not waste this paint.
Okay, yep, get another background
Get another
there.
background, that's perfect.
Wonderful.
Just quickly clean that because we don't want to waste time cleaning.
And this is what I think will happen when everybody gets their stamps home as well. You'll probably think, oh, I'm going to maybe go for a certain plan, maybe go with something that Tracy did, but then you're going to be going off cuff as well. You'll be pulling in all those different elements, your bits of backing cards, your printed paper as well. You can go over the top with those as well.
The pen nibs and the flower looks fantastic on printed pages because then you've got that detail in the open area.
Yes.
So it looks amazing. So we've still got time to draw a winner, have we, as well?
Oh,
Kathy?
yes, we will. We'll not forget about that.
Seeing as how it was me that just announced it at the end.
I am going to say, probably give you a couple more minutes to check your baskets out. If you want to be part of the prize draw, then you will need to check those baskets out so we can choose someone at random. The winner of that prize draw is for Tracy's artwork. Everything that she's creating during this hour will be shipped over to the lucky winner, of course.
And again, I'm putting my card on the side and I'm just judging where I want my pen nibs, and I do spend a lot of time doing this, sort of hovering over the card, deciding. And again, I'm using the pen nibs, but again, I'm not rushing the stamping. I'm just taking my time. And again, because I've got those acrylic blocks, and as you can see, mine are not very clean because they're used in workshops and everything, but my tools are well loved, well used, just the way tools should be.
Exactly.
So I'm just giving that a press again and keeping those fingers in place and just lifting. And I never rush this process. The reason I don't rush this process is you become less frustrated with your stamping.
Yeah.
The more you rush it, the more frustrated you get.
Look at
that image.
Wow.
I'm sorry, but I love that. I just think that is fab.
That is it's so simple, Tracy, but it's just enough.
But we can take it slightly to another level. Are we still all right for a few minutes?
We've got 5 minutes left.
Oh, 5 minutes. Oh, wow. Takes a lot before I've managed 3 demos. I've got a die-cut circle here.
Oh,
so
of course,
I'm judging what nibs that I want to use.
Okay.
So we'll use these ones here. And I'm just hover over where I want to put my nibs. Sorry for my heads in the camera. And just again, even though I'm stamping onto a small area, I still give that time to sit on there. I sort of don't rush it. And even on that
Tracy,
circle, just look at them.
Look at that.
Just love.
Wow.
And I've added a touch of that colour from the background as well, because to keep it a cohesive design, you need the colour from the background into the foreground.
Yeah.
So what we can do then is just...
See if you've got any little bits of MDF or something like that at home. Just, you know, oddments that you've got spare from kits maybe. Or maybe you've gone for some of those bundles that we have, you know, with the trading cards or the trading coins. Use them. It doesn't matter the random shapes even, does it?
And also it's making it unique to you. If you find something at the garage or something like that, it makes it unique to you.
Look at that. Now, so what you've done, you've matched up the detail.
Yeah.
Doesn't that work so well? Do you know, I didn't think you were going to get much better than the original, but actually now you've done that.
But it's the little touches, isn't it?
They're like
we'll
buildings
give this away
with
to the
fancy, what's the word I'm looking for?
Oh, I know what you mean.
The roofs, but they're not called roofs.
It's too late in the evening. I can't remember. I haven't got no brain cells left. I don't do brain cells at the best of times.
The towers, I suppose, in a way.
Yeah, but they'll be called something.
They will be called
something. There's no point asking me. It's too intellectual. I don't do intellectual. Not at this time of night. Wait till you see me at 9 o'clock. There's no hope. So what I'm going to do, this was already stamped out. This is from the, I think, the flower set. Create with passion. And I think we all should create with passion. We should love what we're doing. And if your products don't bring you joy, then there's no point.
That is very, very true.
Just a few splatters, not too many, just a few. And I've actually managed 3 demos.
Look at that. That is incredible. I just adore that. I think that is fabulous.
See, I love that.
Oh, it's amazing,
and that's because
Tracy.
Hazel approached me and asked if I'd test on black card. That's what sharing's all about.
Oh, wow.
Loved it.
Wow.
Love it.
Somebody's going to get that. Some lucky person is going to get that. We will be announcing the winner very, very soon. Now, let's just give you 1 or 2 more reminders again. Let's tell you about that full collection once again. We have been extremely busy. Most of you are going for the full collection. It's a why not deal. You can see the item number there, but let's run through it. So, combined price, if you were looking at everything individually, it would total £95.92. The introductory price is £89.92, but of course, freedom Freedom members, 10% off, just £80.92. So the Freedom saving, including postage there, would be £9 plus your £2.95, equaling £11.95. So it is a why not deal. The Freedom price, of course, would be just £6.97 if you wanted to join the club if you're not already a member. Now, we have got a winner. We have got a winner. Somebody's going to be screaming with delight. It is Alison Smith. Congratulations, Alison. You're going to receive Tracy's artwork from this hour. I'm sure, Tracy, are you going to do this every hour then?
Yeah, every hour.
You are?
Yeah.
Fabulous. Love it. Love it. So tune in as well at 9 o'clock. Tracy's back at 9 o'clock. So somebody else will be winning. But of course, also everybody that's been purchasing the full collection will at the moment be getting that free stamp as well, which is exclusive. We will let you know when that stock runs out. We had huge stocks of the complete collection of everything actually, but not quite as much stock of that individual stamp that's the exclusive free one. So when it's gone, it's gone. Now then, 40% of the complete collection is gone. We're not quite at the end of the first hour. We're not far up at that. I'm telling you, we had huge, huge stocks. We knew it was going to be busy. So I think more stock was loaded than initially intended. But let's just run through it again. The details are on the screen for the full collection, of course, 202936. There you can see that Freedom price, that why not deal, £80.93 if you are a Freedom member or if you're joining the Freedom Club. And we can split that down over 3 flexi buy payments as well. Not 2, but 3. It makes it just £26.98. That's all you need to pay now. Another in a month's time and then in a further month's time. 202936. Now, let's just show a few more samples, Tracy. Let's see how many we can show.
I've got to show this one because I just think this is stunning from Jo. Just
Isn't
look at that.
It is beautiful.
And that looks like the gel press as well with brush O's. But look at the detail in those mushrooms. Oh, I just love them. I think that's a fantastic sample, Jo.
It is. I'm going to show this one simply because they're all amazing, but we haven't seen these stamps in use during this hour, so just something else from the collection, of course, or from the individual bundles, depending on how you want to work. Oh, I've just spotted another one I must show you as well. We're back to those mushrooms. It's another one of Jo's as well. I've just noticed the name on the back. Isn't that gorgeous?
Look at that one from Anne.
Oh.
Absolutely glorious from Anne. And she's done it inside with the butterfly. Just stunning, Anne. Absolutely stunning.
No, I've no idea who did this one. It's somebody called Tracy Evans. Never heard of her. I haven't got a clue.
Mine got in there.
I haven't got a clue, but whoever it is, isn't that amazing? We're down to the last 10 seconds. Of course, do come back at 9 o'clock. More shows tomorrow, more inspiration. Thank you so, so much for joining us. It's been an amazing